Hi everyone, today I am showing you this class that I took on Skillshare. It is by Jane Beata Watercolor. This class is, the goal of taking this class is to help me to become better with my tones and shades and understanding where the lights and where to highlight when I draw. My goal is to become better with illustration. I have been taking classes on Skillshare and I've seen an improvement on my illustration and drawing, and I just needed to understand watercolor. But for me to understand watercolor, I have to understand where the lights, the shades, the tones, and that's why I took this monochromatic class by Jane Beata Watercolor. She has other classes too on Skillshare that I know it's going to be very helpful. She has another one called, let's see here, it is the 7-day monochromatic challenge. It's monochrome watercolor portrait 7-day challenge for artists, and I'm going to take that one, but I guess I'm just in a hurry to finish and just move to the next step. But I know I have to be patient and I have to do my best to, not perfections, but just understand watercolor, color for skin tones and different, because I plan to illustrate a lot with my art. For mostly I want to illustrate Bible scriptures, and that's why I decided to be able to understand if it's going to be something that has to do with animals, flowers, human, just things that are in the scripture that I would like to illustrate. So that's why I'm taking this class. So basically the summary of this class is it introduces watercolor portrait and painting, but not only for beginners, it's also for intermediate artists. She taught us first how to get acquainted with watercolor medium by doing a few drawing exercises, so you can also know how to illustrate the human head and shading with pencil and watercolor. I really enjoyed that shading with pencils because it taught me where to highlight. And from there, we now went to taking different from the shading and then transferring into watercolor. We covered how to sketch the human head from different angles, quick practice of how to train yourself, seeing underlying construction of the human head, how proportions work in a human face, where to place every feature correctly, differences between a female and a male portrait, how to simplify different face features from reference, drawing light and shadow, how to practice portrait regularly, and how to transfer your sketches. Also, we talked about how to set up your paint with watercolor, wet on wet, wet on dry techniques, how to achieve a flat water wash and expressive texture, how to blend edges and create depth in your painting, how to paint light and shadow watercolor, how to decorate your water portrait with splatters, drips, and effects. And also she added some bonus lessons in the class. And as you can see here, my iPad is in front of me, so I have to keep slowing down. One thing I like about Skillshare also is that you can slow down the video. I believe, let me see here, the play speed can be 0.5 if you want it to be very slow, if you want normal. But I've noticed that on my iPad, I cannot slow to 75x. Only on a regular desktop or a laptop you can slow that, but on my iPad I have 0.5x, one which is normal, regular normal talking when the teacher is teaching. Then you have 1.25, which is pretty fast, and then 1.5, and then 2x. But most of the time, if I want to really follow the instruction, I take it to 0.5, even though the voice is lagging and it's slow. So right here, I'm just following her and shading underneath the neck of my illustration. And I really enjoyed this class because it taught me, as you can see, on the top lip is darker, in the middle of on the nose, there's a highlight. I put mine on the side, but it should be in the middle. On the cheek, there's a highlight. On the forehead, there's a highlight. This is the side view. And on the side view, you can see, I understood how side view, the highlights, where the light is going to be coming and hitting the face is going to be different from when you're facing the front. And the second illustration that I did with this class, I really understood. I challenged myself to do something different where I illustrated and used my watercolor. I didn't use the monochromatic. I changed the background. I changed the hair color. And I put some gold. But this one, this was my first time of practicing monochromatic illustration. And I really was impressed on how I got the sketch too. Because most of the time I'm always doing frontal illustration. But this time I followed her sketch. She used the triangular, she used line. She didn't use the circle. What's the name? I forgot. The circle, where you start with a circle, where you illustrate circle, and then you put another circle, and then you put in the features of the face. But she just used lines, and we were both able to achieve, I guess she's been doing this for a long time, and we were able to achieve the side face illustration. So this brush that I'm using right now, it is the number 10 Da Vinci Casino. I found this through one of my classes on Udemy, because I'm also going to be doing fashion illustration. So the goal is to combine fashion illustration with Bible scriptures, and I loved this. This brush is beautiful. I'm holding it in my hand right now. It allows you to go into the corners of your illustration. It has, like, I wouldn't say it's a dagger shape, but I have to go on my Amazon account. I purchased an Amazon account, and so sorry, I got my audio got disconnected. So as I said, I used this Da Vinci Casino brush, and then I also used this Princeton Heritage for the illustration at the beginning when I started to do the background. And then I used the number, let's see what number this is, number 8 Escoda Prado. So there were different brushes that was used, not just one. And then for the details of like the eyelashes, I used the Princeton Round Heritage 3/0. So those are the brushes I used to achieve this illustration. So I definitely recommend you going on Skillshare. And one of the tips I got, I didn't pay the full price for my Skillshare class. I did the free trial. After I finished the free trial, they offered me, I believe, 50%. And the price at that time, because I was going to be leaving my current employer, so I needed to save, and I needed to watch how I spend. So I asked them for additional discount, and they gave it to me. So one thing I also learned is that you can use a dryer, not a dryer. What is it that I used? It's not a dryer. I bought this when I was doing my craft. It is I believe you just saw it. It's a Wagner dryer. I bought it when I used to do my aprons and my t-shirts too. But it's very powerful, and it quickly dries my art, because I've always been seeing my instructors saying that dry instead of you waiting for your watercolor to dry, that could take like about 10 minutes or 15 minutes, depends on how much water you put in. But I saw that they were saying use a dryer. So I tried it, and I could say that I was impressed on how fast this works. I think this is more of an industrial handheld dryer, but you can use a hair dryer. But this one, it's very hot, and it dries fast. It's by Wagner, and I got it also from Amazon. So I'm going to leave a link. Hopefully I still have it, because it's been a long time I bought it. But as I was doing the illustration, I noticed that using a dryer, a handheld dryer, also helps to quickly make your work faster. And as you can see here, I'm just putting the, even though it's only blue color, I used I'm gonna reach for the blue color that I used. I used my Merry Blue Ultramarine Scuro. Yes. So this, I used it, even though the one she used was different from my color, but this is the one I used. And I would say that it's not the same shade as what she had, but I just, like, this is blue, so it didn't matter for me. And I really enjoyed using my Merry Blue one, because it is a non-toxic brand. They do not use any toxic chemicals in their watercolor paint, and it's very pigmented. So basically the goal for monochromatic painting is for you to have different shades of the watercolor. So this is darker now. As you can see, I'm going darker now. The first layer was done. Now I'm doing the second layer, and then the third layer, you just keep layering it upon where it's dark, and that would bring out the shades and the beauty of the illustration. So I'm just going to let you guys watch what I'm doing. I'm doing a voiceover right now, but that is what I did, and I hope you enjoyed this class. I enjoyed it, and enjoyed my video. I'm trying to get better as I'm investing more in my art and investing a lot of time and money in getting better. Hopefully, by faith, I'm able to achieve this goal before the end of this year, where I can make my art be able to get better with my illustration, doing different illustration and put it on products. That's the goal. So I know that we are all trying our best, but we just have to keep pushing through. And I just hope that I wish everyone good luck in everything that we do. So take care, guys. I just want to stop recording here and just let you guys see what the outcome of my illustration was.